Every night, he heard someone crying through the wall, not screaming, not shouting, just crying. Marcus sat quietly on the edge of his bed in his tiny apartment after another long night cleaning floors in the old apartment building downtown. The walls were thin, too thin, and every night around 1:13 a.m. he heard her. At first he tried to ignore it, but night after night the crying continued, soft, broken, lonely. The neighbors complained about the woman next door all the time. She's weird. She never comes outside. She's probably crazy. Marcus never joined the gossip because deep down he recognized pain when he heard it. One rainy night, as thunder shook the building, he heard her whisper through the wall, "I don't want to be alone anymore." Marcus closed his eyes. That sentence hit him harder than anything. The next evening, before leaving for work, Marcus placed a small tray outside her apartment door, hot soup, tea, and a handwritten note. "You don't have to talk. I just wanted you to know somebody cares." The next morning, the tray was gone, but sitting beside the empty cup was a tiny folded note. One word, "Thank you." And somehow, that one word changed both of their lives. Days turned into weeks. Marcus and the mysterious woman began leaving notes for each other outside the door. Her name was Naomi. She was 34 years old. She loved poetry, old music, rainstorms, and she hadn't trusted many people in years. But there was one thing Naomi refused to do. She never opened the door. Not fully, not even once. Sometimes Marcus would hear her laugh softly from inside while reading his notes. Other times he heard silence, heavy silence. The building tenants kept talking about her. She's hiding something. She never shows her face. But Marcus didn't care because, for the first time in years, someone understood his loneliness too. Then one night, everything changed. A violent storm knocked the power out across the building. The hallways went black, and suddenly Marcus heard Naomi screaming in panic from inside her apartment. "Please, please, don't leave me alone." Without thinking, Marcus forced the door open, and there she was, curled up beside the kitchen counter, shaking uncontrollably. The lightning flashed across her face, and Marcus finally understood why she hid from the world. Severe scars covered one side of her face and neck, burn scars, old surgery marks. Naomi immediately covered her face and burst into tears. "Now you see why nobody stays." Marcus stood there quietly, then slowly walked toward her and softly said, "Now I see what survived means." Naomi completely broke down crying, not because he pitied her, but because he didn't run away. After that night, everything changed. Slowly, Naomi began opening up. Marcus started cooking dinner for both of them after work. They sat together talking for hours, laughing, healing, living. For the first time in years, Naomi stopped hiding in darkness. But the biggest moment came 3 months later. Naomi agreed to go outside with Marcus for the very first time. She was terrified. Her hands shook as they walked through the city together. People stared. Someone whispered. Naomi almost turned around, but Marcus gently grabbed her hand, looked directly into her eyes, and said, "Let them look. I'm still proud to walk beside you." Naomi cried right there on the sidewalk because nobody had ever loved her that fearlessly before. Then, one beautiful evening, Marcus brought Naomi to the rooftop of their apartment building. Nothing fancy, just lights, flowers, homemade dinner, and the city glowing behind them. Naomi smiled nervously. "What is all this?" Marcus looked at her quietly, then said, "You spent years hiding your scars, while I spent years hiding my heart." He slowly got down on one knee and pulled out a small ring. "Naomi, will you marry me?" She covered her mouth, crying uncontrollably, before finally whispering yes. Today, Marcus and Naomi continue inspiring people everywhere with their love story. Because sometimes the most beautiful love stories are not about perfect people. They're about two broken people who finally found someone willing to stay.